It is 8:30 on a Wednesday morning. Here it sits. I texted the service manager here, I don't know, 10 minutes ago, asking if they were on their way, and his reply was, the team has left a little while ago, so it's probably a half an hour drive. So they're on their way to see if they can, this is the person that I'm sure Larry's coming too, plus the person that they flew in from wherever, I don't even know. But I also told Fred, the service manager, that by 1 o'clock, whether they got this figured out or not, we're done so that we can get back to doing beans. Because I got 80 acres left, and I got an 80-acre custom job to do. It's supposed to be this way today and tomorrow. Just kind of cloudy, but there's really, I just walked through the grass here that probably ought to be mowed one more time on my mother's, and there's really no dew because it stayed in the upper 50s last night. It hit 70 yesterday. It's supposed to be 70 today. Could be mid 70s tomorrow and Friday. Friday and Saturday are chance of, they're just small chances. Hopefully they miss us. 4 days I could finish mine and theirs, because just the travel, we got to move everything to Plainville. We got to go 6 miles that way, then we got to go 4 miles that way, then we got to go 2 or 3 miles that way, then another couple miles past that to where he is. And just, for those that don't have to move around much, that part sucks. But so I guess we will find out shortly what's going on. Of course, I read a comment today from like a video, 2 videos ago. WD3198 something or other is your YouTube name or handle, whatever you want to call it. Of course, this person commented on somebody else's comment. Love those ones. Made a comment about, well, don't discount. It's probably operator error. He whines about everything. Well, let me explain something to you, dumb fuck, okay? They came out in July and put new software in this because they determined that my issues from last year when it was brand new was because it had outdated software in it. Imagine that, something brand new with outdated software. And ever since they put their new software in, it's been just as bad, if not worse. With, as I've explained, changing settings on its own and all sorts of shit. So, operator error. Go back to your mommy's basement, your safe space, and just continue to think that the world is perfect, because that's what you lefty lunatics do. Because, you just can't, never mind. Never mind. Got a used truck lot. This guy's John. This guy is Alex, who they flew in here from the main headquarters in Lebanon, Pennsylvania, I think he said. And of course, Larry in the service truck. So, the sun's trying to come out, but the fact that there's no real dew means we probably could start in a couple hours, but we'll see what they're doing. We got the battery charger hooked up to it so that we have no blips or anything, no power outages during this, or you know what I'm getting at. This guy, the one from Pennsylvania, from the headquarters, he's in there now with the computer hooked up, completely wiping out everything, I guess. And I don't know, I'm not a computer person, so it's hard for me to describe exactly what they're doing, but we will find out if the end result is a good thing or not. Alright, it's about 12:40. That's Barb up there. I'm not zooming in. I don't know if you can tell by the mirror, we got 3 vehicles behind us, all with their 4-ways on. That's Larry with the service truck and the other 2 guys with their trucks. We are heading, change of plans, rather than go east, we're heading south, where it's a little easier to just get started and whatnot, because they want to.
Tractor trailer getting ready to turn off of 370 onto this road.
Barb's telling me what's coming for traffic. Everything seems to be working fine. We've got a spaceship here. We got shit hooked up. I got a button over here to the left of me that I push if something goes wrong, so it'll do recording, and I got a tractor trailer coming, so I gotta go. Alright, so we are running. Everything so far. No gremlins are changing shit over here. The beans are dry, they're running in the 12s. Awful short on these knolls where it was dry this summer. It gets down into the high 20s, low 30s there, but then bounces back up into the, well, anywhere's in the 40s. I have seen some 50s. Well, right there it just hit 52, but they're not horrible for the year we had. They're not as good as the beans that we've been doing before this, though, so I gotta look in my book and figure out whose beans they are. But it is what it is. But so far, no gremlins changing numbers on settings. I've been able to go in and adjust some settings and then push the button on the ACS, the automatic crop setting stuff, to make it change to my new numbers. It has. So these are averaging right now 45 bushels. So they're not great, but they're not horrible. But the fact that they're dry, I don't have to, you know, cook them to burn propane. That's the part that's what I really like. So we are gremlin free as of now. Those guys are all still down the other end of the field waiting, because, you know, generally it's happened within an hour after we've done this shit before. So this time, if you think the reel's running a little faster, it is, as you can see with the bunching up on the head, because the beans are short. We need to keep feeding them in so that we're not just running beans over. So, and unfortunately being drier, you hear the pinging off the windshield. I mean, it is what it is. You farmers know the struggles with that. So you get down in the valleys, the beans aren't quite as short, but with the lack of moisture this summer, I mean, we didn't lack a lot, but a couple more inches sure would have made a difference. But hey, if this farm ends up yielding 45 bushel the acre, I'll be happy, because some of the other ones yielded more than what I was expecting. Those guys are still waiting down there. So if this stays the way it is and it doesn't change shit, and you know, thank you Alex from Pennsylvania headquarters, because that's where he said he came from, and John, and of course Larry. You know, Larry's just like an employee anymore. He has been this harvest season. So we're gonna keep going, get her done. Hopefully Mother Nature cooperates too. As you can see, it's not exactly a sun-filled, you know, breezy day, so I'm hoping the dew is light tonight. 8 o'clock, still haven't had a problem. Don't know if you can see me, but thumbs up. That's a good thing. These beans, not so good. Well, I mean, they're not horrible, but nothing like what we were doing. But so far, I have not had to turn the recorder on to do anything. And I was more than 3/4 full on my way down through, so that's why we're just dumping at the end here. I don't know what's left in this field. We've done 59.32 acres so far. There's a little over, somewhere between 60 and 65 acres down here, so we should finish. It's not grinding. I mean, it's just starting to grind a little, but it's still warm out, so I don't think the dew is really very heavy at all. But we're gonna try to finish, let's put it that way. I think there's 65 total acres down here, so we got probably about 5 acres left. I think it'll go, but they're short. They're gonna end up averaging, in my opinion, well, I mean, with what it shows now, somewhere between 40 and 45. There's spots like right now the monitor's reading 53, 54, but there's other spots not so good. but they're dry. They've been running in the 11s and 12s. Around the outside of this field was all the ones down the road were pretty much dry, the whole field. This one, a lot of woods around it here, and there's a swamp. They were wetter around the outside. I don't know if you can see me, but I just won't bother putting the camera towards me. But it'll be what it'll be. I should have showed you this wire earlier, but they got all this wired up. I did show you that, but they got it wired out there. Some sensor thing that's satellite or whatever that zip tied on out there. You probably just didn't see a damn thing that I showed you, but so I've never had to push the button. That's a good thing. That means it's been working all day the way it's supposed to. This is always fun. We are going home after finishing that farm. It was 63 point something. I can't remember. Oh yes, and a fucking car's coming. Great. We're heading into the village. Yeah. Alright, so I'll turn you off and talk to you in a little while. Okay, so that person was smart enough to pull off into a driveway. Gives me hope there are a few intelligent people left in the world. I just went by a field that's got a couple of those big electric towers like in Plainville there, and yeah, the poltergeist shit from last year started happening with the radio and stuff. Again, I don't know if you can see me. But anyways, we were going to leave the stuff there, and then tomorrow morning come out here. Well, we weren't going to come through the village. We were going to go back the other way and back out to the main highway here and head east to the other place. But now on the radar, they show rain between 11 and 3. Yeah, and it's a pretty good sized blob. So Barb and I are getting shit home. Get it put away, get the last of the beans unloaded. What the hell is this? Oh, a trailer parked on the side of the road. Jim Oot trailer. Yeah, Oot renovation. Doing some work here. Look at this shit. Trailers parked here, cones around it. Jesus, Jim. I'm telling you. Alright, enough ragging on Jim. It is 5 of 10. Barb is on her way with the tractor and cart. And they lied. It's already started to rain. So, got the head in. Took the leaf blower and blew this off. It's fairly clean. For those that'll ask, why do you, yeah, and I get covered too. And I do wear an N95 when I do it. Why do you blow it off every day? Well, that way the chaff and shit from beans and corn and whatnot just doesn't keep building up on the tailboard, on the feeder house, all over pulleys. Makes it easier to clean at the end of the year. And also it helps to hopefully prevent fires. But now I gotta go check the dryer. Because when I got back, I was like, oh great, I don't have to dry the beans. I can just run them through full bore. Then I got looking at the computer and went, why do they say they're 15% coming through? Well, dumbass, that's what the beans were where you finished before this last rain. So I had to hurry up, turn the dryer on, or the heat on, before I took Barb. That's a little better. Cooking it at about 110 degrees. They're down to 14.1. That's what they're coming in at right now. 13.3. They were anywhere between 10 and 14% today, like around the outsides. For you non-farmers, beans have to be 13%. So that 13.3 doesn't bother me at all, because air using the fans will knock out that 0.3. But I gotta wait for the dry to get down to about maybe 13.5, and then I'll turn the heat off and just let them fly through. So yeah, that was my mistake. That was being a dum-dum. Forget, that's what happens when you get 2, 3, 4 days of rain and you sit and you don't do anything, and you gotta remember everything again. Alright, it's Thursday morning. As you can tell, mud out there in the corner of the driveway. Puddles. Yeah, there's some good puddles over there in front of the barn. Moisture down through here. Yeah, their passing shower last night was considerably more than a passing shower. Yeah. And as you can tell by the sky, which is what today was supposed to be, just like yesterday, cloudy, we won't be finishing our beans up today. So hopefully tomorrow, because this is supposed to be, it was still sprinkling a little bit ago, but it's supposed to clear off. They do show a slight chance, very slight chance in the morning. Let's hope that one misses us. So obviously you see we got everything packed in last night. It was about, I don't know, Barb, as soon as she got here, she went over the house. I got in the house at 10:30ish. So I have indigestion this morning because eating your supper at, almost 11 o'clock at night kind of sucks. But so I just wanted to show a little better this morning. I gotta pull this out. I'm gonna put fuel in it. But that thing up there on that railing, I don't know how well you can see it. Let me try to zoom in. But that little flat thing there they got zip tied is some sort of satellite thing. They got the cord, which is black, so you can't see it very well, zip tied. They ran it under the door there, so, because that door seal was fairly thick. I'll climb up in and I'll show you the button that I never had to push, which was a good thing. Bear with me. I know, we're climbing. So I showed you all this last night where let me turn the dome light on. Oh, that's right, I turned the battery power off because he told me I should. But you can still somewhat see. I showed you that yesterday where they plugged all that in. And they ran me this cord here. And I had to push this button and hold it for a couple of seconds if I needed to. If we had issues, which we did not. And then by pushing that button, I think he said it took and I don't understand it, but it took we're climbing back down, like 20-minute recording of like 10 minutes before, what happened 10 minutes before I pushed the button, and then for like another 10 minutes or so after, or maybe it was 20 minutes before and 20 minutes after. I remember mentioning 20 minutes. So they could see things changing. And I just grabbed a light and looked in there to my sieves, and they were right where I had them running. So that's a good thing. So I guess I'm just gonna end this video because I'm not gonna do anything today other than put fuel in the combine, I guess. So I want to thank Alex from New Holland headquarters who came out. I told him and John was the one who's been here before. He was here last year for all the bullshit, in plain English, that we had issues with the feeder house when we had to cut the piece off, and then the other Gremlin issues with the computer. So he was the original one that was here. So when John was here in July and did the new software, because they had determined that, the other stuff was old software, this guy, Alex, that came, said something about they thought the old software never got completely, gotta unplug my leaf blower battery, I left it plugged in all night, never got completely deleted or something, and the old software was bleeding into the new software, which was causing all sorts of chaos. So this Alex, whatever he did inside with the computer, because I'm not a computer person, completely did away with everything, including the new software from the sounds of it, and then rebooted the new software. And then fine-tuned some shit, tweaked some shit. Bottom line is we ran from 1 o'clock yesterday roughly till almost,
I don't know, it was about 8:30-ish when we were done in the field. It was, 10-ish by the time we got everything back here. And we never had a single problem, never had a single blip, didn't change nothing. I changed, as I mentioned earlier, a couple settings myself, programmed them in. They changed to what my new settings were, never changed again. So Alex, John, Larry, of course, thank you. Let's hope that they're leaving that plugged in till probably like the middle of next week, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, and then they'll come and take it out as long as everything keeps doing what it's supposed to be doing. So, of course, the weekend looks like shit and rain, so hopefully we can go tomorrow, and if we can't go on beans, I might just switch back to corn. I don't know, do some corn for a day, watch it rain for 2 or 3 more, like they're saying, for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and it's frustrating. So, but I told them, guys, I think I mentioned this, maybe I didn't, but I told them I told Alex I was calling you a genius in the last few videos, so there's a lot on the line for you getting this right to live up to the fact that, I was calling you a genius. So, hang on. Knock on wood. So far, I guess, the genius works, because it is working, but we will see. And here's your one more thing. Mad Moose, because we've been talking about this, is now making a winter stocking hat, Grumpy Farmer hat. I think we decided on gray and blue for the 2 colors that we were going to offer. No, we're not going to offer every color under the sun, so just, if you don't like gray or blue, don't get one. But we're now offering a winter hat, and my phone's ringing, gray or blue. So press on the Grumpy Farmer apparel link and get a winter hat. Here's the second more thing. I really like that Alex that was out here. All right, these big drive sheaves here, you probably can't see very well, but on this back one, the little grease fitting tags say 10 hours. Well, the front one says 50 hours. This one's 10 hours. The back one says 50 hours. Says so on their, beautiful sticker here too. We had the shield open for something, and he walks around, he goes, they still can't get the stickers right. I keep telling him. He goes, all 4 of those should be 10 hours. Okay. Well, I've been doing the ones that say 50 at 50, so now I'm doing them at 10. But I liked that guy because, and not that any of the engineers at New Holland will watch this to, get the guy in trouble or anything, but he kind of agrees with the rest of us that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Stop trying to make shit better when it's pretty good to start with. So I'm glad they sent that guy out. Very down to earth, and, he kind of gets the struggles that we deal with when they want to try to improve everything. It's like every year we got to change something, even though there was nothing wrong with last year. So, yeah, I liked Alex.